just now tuning in, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell. GMS fam, the green room. Let's talk about it. Fam, the green room, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Thank you for pulling up expeditiously, my GMS fam, my green room. What's going on, Glittery Bubbles? What up, Stiller Lee? GMS fam, pull up in that live section. Let me know you are in here, man. Let me know you are tuning in. Are you ready for one of them shows? Because I got some things I need to talk about, man. I had an original plan for today's show. I had an original plan, and I thought about it long and hard. Pause. I thought about it. And I was just thinking about the route that I would go down if this was to happen. I can't allow myself to compromise myself, but I'm going to give you guys the chance to decide for me. All right, if y'all want it, I'll do it. You said the mic is low. Hold on. Why? Let me see something. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Am I good now? How's that? Is that better? Am I louder? I don't want to be too loud. I don't want to be so loud that people don't want to hear. You know what I mean? How's that? Can y'all hear me now? Can y'all hear me now? Let me know. Yeah? We good? A-okay? All right. Now, what I'm going to have you guys decide on is whether or not I should let y'all hear the real phone call between me and C. Holcomb. Now, the reason why I thought about this is because I was having a conversation with somebody and we were talking about the situation at hand and why certain things went south and why there's a bunch of beef and extra stuff going back and forth. And I was thinking about it. I'm like, man, it's because there was an edited version of a phone call that went out there and I just like allowed it to be that, you know? And I never released the actual phone call. I never released it. I just let it be what it was. I let them run with their narrative and all this other shit. But I'm like, and then also it was like, I didn't think it was something that was so crazy or profound or so exciting that it needed to be let out to the public. It was a very simple and very cordial conversation. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't it wasn't nothing bad. It wasn't nothing incriminating. It was a good conversation. You know what I'm saying? So I never had the intentions of putting it out there. If y'all watched this channel before, y'all know that it was shared amongst a person who I believed would hold that down on their own and not do anything with it. You know, I had somewhat trust for this person in that space until me and that person fell out with each other. We don't conversate, we not cool or nothing like that. So when that happened, this person decided to mute out the words that I was saying on the phone call, record his own words like he was checking Corey, and then edited it up and then fucking put it on his channel, and did that shit for clout and for turmoil and all types of shit. And then I just kind of, you know, I took accountability for it. I never was like, oh man, it's not my fault. Like, y'all already know the story. I took accountability for it. Should have never shared it. You know, I thought I could trust people to keep it to themselves. And this guy didn't keep it to himself. Nonetheless, nobody really saw that video either. I think it got like 20 something views. Like just 20, it got like 20 something views. And like out of those 20 something views, like Corey and Gooch were like 2 of them. You know what I'm saying? So it was like nobody saw it. It didn't get released like that on a major platform. The dude had a different YouTube channel that only had like 16 subscribers. Nobody saw the video. So that's another reason why I just let it be what it was, because it wasn't like it went viral or like it had a couple thousand views or something like that. It was up and then it got taken down quickly. But like I said, I'm gonna leave it up to y'all towards the end of the show, so stick around. We got a lot of things to talk about, but I'm gonna do a poll at the end of the show. I'm gonna see if y'all want me to just release it to y'all, if y'all want to see it or hear it. If not, I don't give a fuck either way. But yeah, that's what we gonna do. But shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to Glittery Bubbles, man. Shout out All in the Soil, Still Elite. Jay Wright is in the building. Deadly Rave is in the building. Swag from the past. Dizzy B, what's going on? JR Miller, Daryl is in the building. All right, let's get to it, man. We got to start somewhere in here. Basically, what I wanted to start with was this Druski shit. Now, you guys got to understand something, man. There's been a lot of things going down in regards to this Diddy case. People have been getting added to these lawsuits. People have been, you know, trying to get civil cases going and trying to get some type of money scheme going. It's very clear that people are trying to capitalize off of the Diddy situation. And it's very weird to see how these things are going down to the point where now you're getting people added to the list that, you know, weren't even public figures at the time. And one person I'm talking about now is Druski. Druski was added to a lawsuit claiming that he was a part of these freak-offs, apparently. And this was back in 2018, where they claimed that Druski was a part of the alleged freak-off, and some questionable things went down. We're gonna read some of these things. I want y'all to see this because this is mind-boggling. All right. So it says defendant Valdez abused his position of power and authority over plaintiff Jane Doe, who was in no position to reject his sexual assault due to her being physically outnumbered, unable to vacate the premises because she was drugged and kidnapped and having her cell phone and keys hidden from her. Defendants Diddy, Shane, Odell, and Druski's battery on plaintiff caused physical injury, severe mental and emotional distress, pain and suffering, mental anguish, and loss of enjoyment of life. Defendants' unlawful actions were intentional, done with malice and or showed a deliberate, willful, wanton, and reckless indifference to plaintiff's rights. Plaintiff claims compensatory and punitive damage herein. The amount of damages sought herein exceeds the judicial. Oh my God, I'm killing myself right now. Jurisdictional limits of all other courts which would otherwise have jurisdiction. These words are very small on my screen, so trust me, I'm not illiterate. I'm trying my hardest to read these, even though these are very small on my screen. Now, what this person is alleging is that while in these freak offs, in there against her will, she was assaulted by Druski, and in a way where the description, I think, is what kind of gave it away that it might have been a BS story. They said that Druski doused this person in one of Diddy's thousands of bottles of baby oil and proceeded to treat this person as some sort of human slip and slide. Said that Druski jumped in the air and landed on her and slid across her body, taking the breath away from her while she gasped for air. Druski is a big fella. And I don't see this being something that, I mean, it may sound crazy, but also we have seen crazier. I just can't imagine something like this happening. And they're saying that this happened back in 2018. So what Druski did was he went to his social media and responded to what was said. He had to respond to the allegations. This is what Druski had to say. He said, the allegation is a fabricated lie. I wasn't a public figure in 2018. I was broke, living with my mom without any connections to the entertainment industry at the time of this allegation. So the inclusion of my name is truly outlandish. My heart breaks for actual victims of abuse, but I'm fully confident that the evidence will expose this falsehood and the individuals who are maliciously trying to game the legal system to peddle false narratives. So, as you can see, the allegations were set back in 2018. Druski was not a public figure back then. Druski was not somebody who was popular amongst the masses. And as he said, he allegedly did not have any connections to the entertainment industry at the time at all. So, in his words, he would have been nowhere near a Diddy freak off because he had no clout, no push, no pull, no celebrity then, no money. I don't know too many people in Druski's position back in 2018 that would have been at a Diddy freak off. I'm sorry. And then also one thing to point out that I need you guys to understand as well, for some people that may think that these things are real, Druski's real name isn't Druski, and Diddy's real name isn't Diddy. If you go read court documents about things that are happening in this Diddy case, they're using Sean Combs. They're using people's real government names. There's no court documents like I mean, in court documents they do use your nickname when it pertains to quoting somebody or trying to, you know, like if somebody names you in something and they're using your words or your quotes for something and you say that person's nickname, they're going to use that nickname in there, but they're also going to include the fact that the person is talking about X person, which is their full government name. So for instance, Druski's real name, let's see, what is Druski's real name? Druski's real name is, let's see. Where's his Wikipedia? There we go. Drew Desbordes. Desbordes. Is that how you say his name? It's a Wikipedia page. Drew Desbordes. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Desbordes. It's like, Dr. Umar, what lineage are you? They're gonna say his real name and then proceed to, be in the realm of, talking about everything that's going on. So, with that said, I don't believe that these are true. I feel like it's fabricated. And whoever, I don't know who's leading the charge in this, but all I know is that this is going to be the reason why Diddy is let out. Like, if he was guilty of the things that they were accusing him of, all these people that are trying to get a payday and are trying to get people's names caught up in different legal shit so they can get some type of clout or get some type of payday from this shit, y'all are ruining it for actual victims, if there are victims of the things that Diddy did. Did he do it or did he not do it? You know what I mean? Like, y'all are messing it up for those people. And it's crazy how lawyers will take on every single last case. Even if it doesn't make sense to them, they'll add it to their workload. And it's making it look crazy, and it's making it look like they're not gonna have nothing to stand on. Like, does anybody even know the real focus anymore of Diddy's allegations or lawsuit? Does anybody know what the focus is anymore? Are we just like reading every day that there's a new complaint or a new lawsuit coming up every single day? It just don't look right to me. And I don't think that it's going to help bring any type of justice to any real victims, if there are any. Especially when you start adding bullshit. Like, I can't even show y'all what this person said. I can't do it. But either way, it is what it is. I don't even want to spend too much time on this Druski shit. I just wanted to highlight it because that's the one thing I really wanted to speak on, was the fact that people are now coming forward with allegation after allegation after allegation every single day, and it's minimizing the real instances, if there are any, against this guy. Like, if Diddy is supposed to be locked up for his crimes, he's probably going to get out for it because of all the things that has been going on. Like, they're going to use these examples in court. And on top of that, we all found out, because it was a rumor, but we all found out that the baby bottles that they found, like, people were trying to say that he had so many because they were all drugged, and when you put it on people, they get drugged and they can't do anything about it, and now they're being assaulted. But they haven't proved that yet. That hasn't been something that has been proven to the public. They didn't go and test these baby oil bottles. They never tested them. Now, I don't want y'all to think I'm over here taking up for Diddy. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm telling you, the way that things are going, it's about to be a situation where Diddy's gonna get out, and on top of that, once he gets out, the damage is already done. He can go out and make a statement and say, man, I know that everybody's against me and all this. It's not gonna change, man. The court of public opinion has already destroyed his name and his legacy. There's nothing that Diddy can do at this point that will show or prove that he is somebody that can withstand the test of time in the industry. I'm surprised he hasn't lost it all yet. Like, I know his kids are panicking. Every time you hear somebody talk about him, the next thing you know, they talking about how one of the kids hit him up to press him or some shit for what they said. Like, y'all not, the kids, that's another thing. His sons ain't making it no better. Your dad is being looked at as a monster, as a criminal. Somebody who not just is being alleged sex trafficking, but has different allegations against him about doing other things or trying to cause harm to other people. And it's not helping that his sons are trying to press every single person that has an opinion on the situation. Y'all making it worse. And I get it. That's y'all father. But he is a public figure at this point. Like, you want to protect him, but you can't protect him against a million people. And that's another thing. They smell, like, especially on the internet. The internet smells blood. Whenever they see somebody is agitated, aggravated, or a little bit even bothered, they attack. Once people know that y'all losing y'all minds and y'all going out here trying to press everybody that has something to say about y'all dad, they gonna use that shit against y'all. They're just gonna double, triple, quadruple down on your ass, and you just gonna have to try to defend him every which way, every corner that you can. Y'all making it hard for yourselves to go outside, because once you outside and people realize y'all niggas is triggered by certain things people are saying, y'all know the internet, man. The internet is not, it breeds and it feeds loserism. So people go out here and they try to do things for the internet, like walk up on one of them like, hey, say diddler, and then you hit him in the face. Now you got a lawsuit on your hands, and now you got to pay some money up being one of Diddy's sons, because you want to get out of your body and out of your mind whenever somebody do some shit, when you know how the world is. This is the world we live in today. I'm surprised we ain't got no videos yet of somebody putting the camera up, probably because these niggas got big, burly, gorilla ass niggas around them trying to protect them, because people probably got it out for them because of their dad. That's another thing too. You know, Diddy put a target on his kids' back, man. He put a target on their back. And this is why you got to watch what you do, being somebody that is a public figure and somebody who has a lot of influence in not just the culture, but the industry as a whole. And you got kids, especially grown kids. Because if they're, you know, they're young kids, a lot of the times people leave that alone. You know what I'm saying? Young teenagers or, you know, younger kids, nobody's going to put them in shit. But as an adult, oh yeah, they going to lump your ass in for sure. You going to catch the heat. That's a fact. So just hearing those stories, man, them trying to press different people just because people are having opinions about their dad, well, this is the information that's out there to the public. And it's best that they shut the fuck up as well. You're not helping the case at all. Now, speaking of not helping, I wanted to bring this up as well. This is Dr. Umar's alleged daughter. And she is claiming that he is a deadbeat. He does not talk to her. She's tried to reach out several times, and to no avail. She has not got a response. Well, Dr. Umar did respond to this, but before we get to what Dr. Umar had to say, and matter of fact, before we even get to this video, let me read some of y'all comments on what I was just talking about. Let me do that. Let me do that due diligence. Shout out to y'all GMS fan. Still Lee said GMS need Darlene's glasses. Shut the fuck up. Oh my God. He says, nigga, Uncle Ty, what up, Uncle Ty? Uncle Ty's in the building. He said, this nigga hitting top rope frog splashes. J.R. Miller, he said, bathe, bid, bathe. Marquis said, I think it's BS on Druski, but maybe Dale was in on it. Maybe, I don't know. Old Dale is a very questionable human being. The main thing is a RICO, sex trafficking, and drug charges. Yeah, we gonna figure that one out. Playboy Tilt said Diddy is innocent, bruh. Yes, he whooped Cassie ass and she got paid for those private prize fights, even though she's not a victim, but that whole case is a character slander. Oh, okay. Glittery Bubble said Diddy did so much that even if they throw in something that he didn't do, no one will believe it. So he's gonna just have to grab them ankles and take that. Oh, hell no. Uncle Todd said Druski hitting up butt naked man sauce on chicks is wild. JR said ecstasy oil, not baby oil. Oh my goodness. Marquis said Diddy just gonna have to take the DV charge on Cassie. Well, he already paid. That was a civil thing. He paid for that. So now there's no more case in that. There's no more from what I'm understanding, there's no more Cassie involved in anything as far as like, you know, that goes. He doesn't have to face any other charges when it regards to Cassie. Or in regards to Cassie. Stiller Lee said if he's free, it would be worse for him than being in jail because you're now sentenced to hell on earth with that label of being a monster. Yeah, absolutely right. That's the thing too about the Diddy situation. I thought about that. A statement, because you know he's going to have to try to put out a statement to the public if he is released from jail. He's going to try to release a statement. He's going to try to, you know, the PR team is really going to suggest that he makes like a 10-minute video explaining everything or talking about everything and trying to profess his innocence. But the fact that it has been months now and he has been labeled the diddler And so many people have joked, so many people have talked about it, so many think pieces, so many viral tweets, viral clips, viral moments, so many lawsuits. There's no coming back from that. His legacy is forever tainted, forever stained. There's only going to be a few people that still support Diddy as far as like fans go, and as far as a few other people that may have not spoken out publicly about the situation, but it's not going to be enough for him to sustain his mental health and his legacy. That is going to be the main thing now that they talk about 10, 15 years from now. When you talk about the culture, when you talk about hip hop, and when you talk about moguls, when you talk about businessmen, and you talk about, influence, that is going to forever be a stain on that man. Like, it's gotten to the point now, like, I can see it. When they make a documentary on this man, they're going to spend way more time talking about the allegations and the lawsuits and the possible this and the possible that and the alleged this, more than they are going to talk about his accomplishments and the things that he did in his career. I promise you that. I absolutely promise you that. Playboy Tilt said a lot of the Diddy hate came from people with mediocre lives and mediocre existence, and bruh been shining in the world's face for the last 30 plus years. That could be possible. Shout out to Joe Thompson for the 10 in the super chat. Thank you so much for supporting the GMS show in a big way. If you want to do the same, man, you guys can hit up the super chat, or you can become a member of the GMS show by clicking the membership at the bottom. Or if you want to support in a bigger way, because YouTube takes a percentage of those super chats and a percentage of the ad revenue. But if you want to send directly to me, the Cash App is in the description below, or one of my moderators can put it in the chat, man. Appreciate y'all. What up, Ben Frank? Now, let's get to this video. Dr. Umar's daughter here, she just popped up on TikTok and decided she wanted to air the Pan-Africanist. I was about to say something disrespectful. I don't have no hate for Dr. Umar. That's the thing. That's one person who, like, I understand what he's doing, and I'm not here to hate on Dr. Umar. I'm not out here to really even support Dr. Umar. I'm just here watching the entertainment of Dr. Umar, because that's just what it is, in my opinion. It's just entertainment. He may genuinely love black people. He may genuinely want to support black people and try to do something to help black people. But I think at some point down the road, he realized that the image and the entertainment factor of Dr. Umar, the character of Dr. Umar, is a lot more profitable than the Dr. Umar who could really be out here focusing his time and energy on actually doing things to help the black community. I think if at some point down, that's why people be asking, I think in my opinion, that's why some people be asking, why is the school not finished? It's not because he doesn't have the support or he doesn't have the people to reach out to help him. It's because at some point, the character became more important than the action behind what the character was saying. So that's why we don't have a school that's finished. That's why we don't have these different programs out here in the name of Dr. Umar trying to help inner city black kids or what do you want to say? Poverty-stricken youth and things like that. Like, you don't see that. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing him on, people's, having different interviews, or seeing him on Druski's show now and doing shit like that. Like, he's not, in my opinion, he's not doing anything but just being an entertainment factor for Pan-Africanism. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not one of those people that's gonna sit back and try to, like, demonize him or try to act like, oh man, Dr. Umar ain't this or he ain't that, because I understand what his motives are now. In my opinion, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? I don't know for sure because I don't know the man, but from what I can see, it seems like he does this just for the entertainment. Okay. Now, his daughter came out because she wanted to say some things about Dr. Umar, and I don't know. I guess we could just see if we could take her word for it. All right, listen to what she had to say.
Hey TikTok, so I just wanted to come on here with a small short announcement. I just want to start this video off by saying I'm not trying to get clout. I literally just want to have a conversation with my father. My biological father is Dr. Umar. He has another daughter. I tried to contact him about, getting to know my sister on my dad's side. I asked him if he knows her or if he has her number. He ignored me and never responded. I'm 22 years old now. My dad has never been to anything important, no graduation, no birthday parties, nothing. He has not been in my life. Again, I'm not making this video to bash him. I'm making this video to state facts, okay? You can't get on Instagram and get on social media and portray to be an activist and talk about how black kings need to be with black women, but you're not even in your black woman's daughter's life. It doesn't make sense. You're being a hypocrite. And it's frustrating because I reached out to you. I reached out to you. I shouldn't have had to do that. I'm your daughter. But I'm smart enough and logical enough to know that you would never reach out to me because you don't have my phone number. And I'm pretty sure you wouldn't try to reach out to me because for what? I don't want anything out of you. I want nothing but a conversation. Forget the relationship. I really don't care too much about that at this point. I just wanted a conversation out of you and you shut me down. You ignored me. You should never be too busy for your daughter ever in life. So I just wanted to make this video to just try to, I guess, somehow find my sister on my dad's side. So if you see this, please reach out to me. Please DM me because I want to know who you are. Why do I have siblings out there that I don't know about? It's unfair, and deadbeat fathers is very common nowadays, especially in the black community, right? We all know Dr. Umar reps the black community or whatever, but you can't rep that if you're not even in your daughter's life. You moving backwards. You're moving backwards. It's not making sense. To the public, you look like this person, but in private, you a whole nother person. And I'm not bashing you. I just don't understand why you're ignoring me. I'm 22 years old and you have yet to be in my life. No graduations, no parties. When I get married, are you going to be at the wedding? Are you going to walk me down the aisle?
Would you really want him to if he hasn't been in your life? Like, does that make sense? Do you have a grandpa that loves you? I don't know. You figure that out. Maybe an uncle, somebody who has been in your life, somebody who you care about. You just gonna turn that off. Let's see some of y'all comments. He said, F them kids. Ernie Mac, Southern California said, I like Dr. Umar. He say some real shit. Ben Frank says, I'm helping the snow bunny epidemic one day at a time. The school is still under construction. Yeah, I guess so. Marquis said, Umar needs a snow bunny. Maybe she will help him finish the school of his. Yeah, right. Hurricane JW said, we don't see the school not being finished because he used the donation money to pay off the child support, allegedly. Holy. He also said she had a stepdad that loved her and filled the void. Why is she calling for Dr. Umar? This brings me back to the actual conversation that happened maybe a month ago because, excuse me, TK Kirkland, one of his comments started going like semi-viral from an interview he did about men taking care of other people's kids. And one of the things he said that you could be a dude that accepts another woman's kids and treat them well and love them and take care of them and, be everything that they ever needed, but they'll never lose that love for their biological father. They'll never get over that, and that'll be something that will always overtake anything that you will ever do or any love that you will ever show for that child. And that's a perfect example in what you just said right there. Let's see, you said snow bunnies need love too. Cortez said mental illness is real. Yes it is, and it affects people on a daily basis, trust me. She said she wasn't doing it for clout, but a couple videos later she throwing up prices that she want for interviews. Well, that's how it is. Also, that's dumb as hell, because if somebody reaching out to you for an interview, you should be negotiating behind the scenes. Never tell nobody your price. online, stupid ass, because there's somebody out there that would probably pay you more than what you asking for, and then because they see that price, they gonna lowball you. Never do that. That's a word to the wise, especially for people out there that's like trying to sell themselves, or if they start, you know, gathering clout and these different platforms want to hit you up for interviews. Negotiate that shit behind the scenes, goofy. Do not do that shit on the internet. And I know a lot of y'all see, I don't have dumb people in my chat. People that watch me aren't stupid, so I already know y'all know that. But if for the random people that might pop up and see this later, that's a word for y'all. Let's see. Marquis said snow bunnies and polar bears all need love. I'm done with the snow bunnies, man. I'm done personally. It's got to be black from here on out. Marquis said, or Cortez said, everything she's saying she don't want or ain't asking, she really do. Jan Wynn said she came through like I'm not bashing, then grabbed the hammer and started bashing. Busy B said, Cap, she a little slow and wants some clout and some money from her famous dad. Give her 15 minutes of fame, and this too shall pass. Yeah, it never lasts when they really don't have anything else to do behind that shit. When they think that, because that's another thing that people like to do. If they go viral, they forget that something has to come behind that. Like, you can't just coast off of your name. You know what I'm saying? And especially if you're not a white girl. Hawk Tua girl came up and had a podcast, all that shit. Then she went and created a coin and put that shit up, and what they call it, a rug pull. She made millions of dollars and then cut a rug up on these motherfuckers and made a whole bunch of people lose a lot of money and then disappeared. Then she came back and tried to talk about it and was sitting there like she did the weirdest cry that I've ever seen in my life. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Like, y'all gotta understand, these type of people right here, they disgust me. They disgust me. I'm gonna see if I can find it, man. Hawk to a bitch. Do they even have it? Oh no, she was with she wasn't with one of the Paul brothers. She was with that one dude from FaZe. Where is that shit?
And all the people that actually watch my stuff and they keep up with me. We're trying to sort out all the pieces and stuff to like get all this figured out and make everything right. Oh my god, it was supposed to be like what they call it, a long-term coin. And the guy that ran the account, he was like, oh, we're gonna change like the way everybody thinks of crypto. Crypto's gonna be a good place. And I feel really bad for all the people that got affected by it, and it just didn't go the way I planned.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. And you know it's bullshit because they tried to do a spaces to talk about it. She just crept up out the spaces, left, and then went totally quiet and silent on the internet. Didn't show up for like a month or so. Didn't say nothing. Just collected her millions off of her rug pool and just sat up there and tried to think of a way to get up out of it. And then she went to some dude to get interviewed, and it just looked crazy. Like, she was sitting there, the way she was acting like she was crying, she was, you know, there's some people that have like the nervous laugh, or you know what I'm saying, they get nervous and they start laughing from the feeling of, you know, the awkwardness or whatever. But nah, I don't believe her. I don't believe her. She's very weird. Very weird. JJ said, I met many people like Umar. It all comes down to money. We as black people always looking for hope and get popped or get pooped or duped, pooped, popped, pooped. I don't know what she was trying to say, but either way, let's finish what she had to say, and then we'll go to Dr. Umar's
I have
response.
a stepdad who has been in my life since a little girl. He has been in my life. And I thank God for him, because my biological father couldn't even do that, y'all. My biological father is not even on my birth certificate, because when my mom had me, he left. And I do have a DNA test. So yes, I can prove that that's my father. I would never get on here and lie to y'all. That's kind of sick and delusional and crazy. But I'm just making this video because I want to find my sister. And when I reached out to him about given me her number, or if he even had it, I was ignored. So now I guess I have to take matters into my own hands. So if you see this video, sister, please reach out to me, because if he's not going to allow us to be in contact, I'll do it myself. I just want to end this video off by saying that daughters who have deadbeat fathers should not have to go through this. This is very present in the black community, and as an activist, I would not think that you would be a deadbeat because you rep the black community so much. It doesn't make any sense. You cannot be a hypocrite. You can't say do A, but you're doing B. It doesn't make any sense. So y'all already heard my mission for this video. Y'all already heard why I'm making this video. So if she can reach out to me, I would love that. I would love to have a conversation with you, because you are my sister on my father's side that I have never met. I don't even know your name. I don't even know how old you are. I have a sister on my mom's side, and I'm the oldest. I'm pretty sure that my sister that's on my dad's side, I'm probably older than her. I'm supposed to be guiding her. I'm supposed to be teaching her things, because you as the father, you're not doing that. So let me do that as an older sister.
Her mama around the corner watching this shit like, that's right, baby. You tell him. You tell that Pan-African nut-busting motherfucker abandoning us like this. How you know your mama wasn't out here treating him crazy and didn't want him to see you, and then he just got loose and said, all right, sister, you don't want me to see my child? Well, I'm going to go over here, because I will not have you control my life. I said I will not have you control my life. I will not have you control my life. Whether you have my seed or not, I love you, queen, and I love the young princess who will blossom into a queen one day. But she will know the truth, because the day that my young princess gets the ability to get on the internet and talk about her father because of what her mother did, I promise you, the day of reckoning will come. The day of reckoning will come. The day of reckoning will come. I will respond, and I will do it with love. Because at the end of the day, that is my young queen, and not just your young queen. We made her together. And I will set the record straight. Because one thing about Dr. Umar is that I love my black queens and my black princesses. And one thing I will not be is a deadbeat father. I said one thing I will not be is a deadbeat father. One thing that I will not be is a deadbeat father. You know, he say shit in threes. He say shit in threes. You gotta keep up with Dr. Umar. Now he did. I'm gonna show y'all that. I'm gonna show y'all that next. But Dr. Umar did respond. He did respond. And he played some of the video from her to dispel some of the things that she had to say. Listen to this.
My biological father is Dr. Umar. I tried to contact him about, getting to know my sister. I asked him if he knows her or if he has her number. He ignored me and never responded. I'm 22 years old now. My dad has never been to anything important, no graduation, no birthday parties, nothing. He has not been in my life. Forget the relationship. I really don't care too much about that at this point. I just wanted a conversation out of you, and you shut me down. You ignored me. And
the one thing about Dr. Umar is that he is hilarious. Like, whether you think he's a grifter or whether you think he's like for real about his mission in life or whatever, the one thing that we all can unanimously agree on is that this nigga is hilarious. And he don't even be really trying. I don't know. I don't think he be trying. I think he be serious. But the way that he be talking is just so funny to me. I think that's another reason why I just look at him as just entertainment. I can't look at him as like a leader of sorts or some shit. He's just funny.
I'm not bashing you.
Really?
I just don't understand why you're ignoring me. I'm 22 years old and you have yet to be in my life.
Y'all know me too well. Y'all know my love for children is too strong. For anybody to be coming out the woodworks telling you they've been trying to reach me when my number has been public for 20 years. Listen, brothers and sisters, I want y'all to listen. My phone number has been the same for 20 years. So anybody telling you they've been trying to reach me and my phone number hasn't changed in 20 years, mind you, I speak at graduations in Philadelphia all the time. I'm on the street in Philadelphia all the time. I have events in Philadelphia all the time. I got family in Philadelphia everywhere. And you've been trying to find me? Stop the cap now. Can we please stop the cap, brothers and sisters? Trying to build your struggle streamer career off of my back, coming up out of nowhere, acting like you've been looking for me. Get Mama Smurf. When can the three of us have a sit down? I'm ready for this. When can Mama Smurf, Papa Smurf, and Baby Smurf have a sit down? Oh, I'm ready for this. And I will have my white man paperwork. When can we do the sit down? When can we do the sit down? Been paying child support since you damn near came out the womb. Deadbeat who? When can we have a sit down? Child support started, you wasn't even out your mama yet, and she took me to child support. Deadbeat who? Child custody file this thick. What are we talking about? Where is Mama Smurf? What is your mama's Instagram? We want to ask her some questions. Where's your mama's face? Where is the mother? And none of y'all asking no questions.
Lord have mercy. The mother. I told you where the mother was. She was in the other room like this. Listen to her daughter do the whole clip. She said, yeah, just like I told you.
This is how you know that this is not about the truth. If his number hasn't changed in 20 years, why haven't you called for an in-person conversation? You wait until now. Why is that? Why did you wait until now? I want you to get off of social media for a minute. Stop looking ridiculous. Get off social media for a minute, Baby Smurf. Stop looking ridiculous. And I want you to get Mama Smurf. And on Thursday, 1 week from today, I'm calling you out, you and Mama Smurf. I want a respectable private FDMG tour and luncheon. Baby Smurf, Mama Smurf, and Big Papa. Wilmington, Delaware. Let's put it into this right now.
So, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like he's saying that isn't really his daughter. Is that what he's saying? Or is he saying that they didn't care to reach out to him, so he just wasn't trying? Like, what is he trying to convey here? What am I hearing? What do y'all think that he's saying? The sheriff says, he love for crushing those cookies is greater than his love for the children. Oh, shit. Especially his own. Ignoring your own child, he sounds more interested in the mother than the daughter. Zane Vicious said, people be saying they trying to find me and I know they lying. JR said, that's a whole clip. Black Gold says, see struggle career. I think it's a money play. Juanita Claire Davis says, hello, this is a very serious situation that involves her trauma from abandonment issues. That's fine. But you bring things to the internet. You can't expect people to have the same sympathy or empathy for you, especially if they don't know the validity of the story or anything that happened. You know, I don't know what's going on here. I have sympathy for people that have gone through situations like that. I mean, it is what it is. We don't know if that's his daughter or not. So, I mean, the thing about that is, if we find out that this was some type of clout chase or some type of thing where somebody just wanted to go out here and put Dr. Umar on blast just for the internet, then what? You know? Then, I mean, what are we going to say about that? Are we supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? How are we supposed to react to that? We still supposed to treat the situation as what it is. We're supposed to take the information we have, and go with that. I don't know if you like missed what I said in the beginning, but I don't know. I don't take Dr. Umar serious like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't take him serious. I'm not somebody who's out here like, oh, you know, why is she ganging up on Dr. Umar? What's going on with Dr. Umar? He could very well be a deadbeat. It's not my concern. Also, I'm sorry, but her abandonment issues aren't my concern as well. And a serious situation would be if this person was being abused. She said that she had a stepfather in her life that she loves and that took care of her and was in place of the person that should have been there for her. I think that's a huge help in these type of situations where people should be focused on those type of things instead of focused on who wasn't there. Now, I get it. Your biological father not being there could be traumatic, especially if you didn't have somebody there to fill that void. But what do you expect to happen after this time? Like, I'm somebody who has went through that in my life as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I supposed to do about the time that wasn't spent, or the time that we could have had together that wasn't there? Like, what am I supposed to do about that? How are you ever going to get over it besides getting over it? You can't bring that shit back. You can't time travel and change whatever it is that happened. The one thing we cannot get back is time. So if somebody chooses to lose time with you, or if somebody decides that they don't want to have no time with you at all, or they get away from you, let that be a sign that that person was not meant to be a part of your life, regardless of who it is. So that's pretty much how I feel about that. Go to therapy as well. If you got abandonment issues, if you got shit going on, go to therapy. You know, hopefully that works. Shit, I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna start therapy this week, tomorrow actually. And it's just for different things. I'm gonna see if it works for me. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a diss. It's not like, oh, go to therapy, you got issues. It's like, nah, try it out. Try some different outlets instead of going to the internet, because it ain't gonna help. Trust me, I know it's not like the way I utilize the internet. I could post a song, or I could post, a quote or some shit like that. But the one thing that I don't want to do is go to the internet talking about my personal life and different things that I go through on a daily basis. Like, if y'all don't understand, I done been through a lot of shit over the past year. I done been through a lot of shit over the past year. Shit that I like all the way up until this past week. Shit's been going on. I could be on here talking about a lot of things. I could be putting a lot of shit out there in the atmosphere, but I'm trying to maintain my focus. I think that's what a lot of people should do. You know what I'm saying? Try to do some therapy if you can, but remain focused, man, because you do have a purpose in life. You do have goals you have to set in life and that you need to accomplish. You got to go for that shit. You know what I'm saying? You got to go for that shit. And just, figure out what you need to do to get over things. Everybody's different on how they deal with situations and how they overcome them. Not everybody can, not everybody's going to have therapy work for them. Not everybody is going to have the internet work for them, going on there, put somebody on blast. It's not, the pain is still there. It doesn't change what happened already. When people get cheated on, they go and try to put somebody on blast. It's not going to unfuck the bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still there. The imagery is still there. The pain is still there. You have to figure out a way to really tap into how you can get over something or how you can heal from something. A lot of the times, the way you can is by doing something that you need to necessarily step out of the box for. There's something that you may have interest for that you haven't discovered yet. You know what I'm saying? It's a joy in finding a healthy distraction. A lot of the times, people fall into drugs, people fall into alcohol, people fall into sex. A lot of these different things to try to help numb the pain, but it doesn't help release the pain or to help heal from the pain. Try to dab yourself into different outlets, man. Put yourself in different rooms, put yourself in different situations to help with that journey, So that's how I feel. Juanita Claire Davis says, a stepfather doesn't necessarily heal the wounds or self-esteem issues from the biological father's absence. That's true, but it does help. And like I said, find an outlet. because especially when you're sitting there, you like people. A lot of the times, like when they get done wrong, they're trying to look for sympathy, or they're trying to look for remorse from the person that did them wrong. And if that person isn't showing remorse or care, like for instance, if this is Dr. Umar's biological daughter, hit this response, that's a shitty response. There should have been more love and care in that response. There should have been more empathy in that response, especially if he is an absentee father. Somebody who walks around talking about fathers needing to be in their kid's life, but you not in your own. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I don't, there's ways to approach it. If people aren't trying to meet you at the point of trying to help you heal, they're not going to be the person that's going to help you heal. Especially if they're the person in question that did you wrong. So that's why I say you have to find another outlet. You're only going to hurt yourself more if you're trying to chase the rabbit. If that makes sense. The sheriff has said, keep your business off the internet as much as you can. GMS, I don't even post my hubby online. Remember that what doesn't delete you makes you stronger. Sending positive vibes. Oh man, of course. Of course. I've been doing a lot of thinking over the past couple days, and I trust me, I'm in a lot better space mentally than I was a couple days ago. And not that I was in like, I don't want y'all to misconstrue what I mean by that. It wasn't like I was going crazy or some stupid shit like that. Like I wasn't like on the brink of breaking down and no shit like that. It's just different shit be happening, and it tries to fuck with you mentally. Like it be little shit, you know what I mean, that just like tries to pick at you, and you have a choice to let those things consume you or not. And me personally, I'm not allowing that shit to consume me. I don't care who's a part of my life, who's not a part of my life. Move to the fucking side if you don't want to fuck with me. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to do what I need to do to make sure that I achieve every single last goal and every single last thing that I've set out for myself in this life. I can't slow down for nobody. I can't, put things off for nobody. I can't try to, put nobody else in front of me or my child. Like I can't do none of that shit. I don't have the room or the space for that. So we not doing that anyway. That wasn't even on the docket. But I'm just giving examples, especially for other people out there that might be dealing with certain things happening in their life. Now, so Dr. Umar is in that type of turmoil. I don't know what's happening from there, but there is a person that popped up, right? This is the video I wanted to show y'all. This is interesting to me. Some lady popped up and said that she was one of Dr. Umar's sister wives. And she had some things to say about Dr. Umar and when she met Dr. Umar and how she knows him. But listen to this.
I've known Dr. Umar for 3 years. I met him when I was 24 years old. And this is a recent picture. We just met in June of last year. And we did discuss his children along with a few other things. We met up at Brandywine Diner on Concord Pike last year. And because he wanted to take me out to lunch, and I kind of wanted to talk about just have a conversation with him regarding.
By the way, if you haven't done it yet and you are watching it live, hit the like button right now. Hit that like button right now.
Like black content creators on TikTok and social media. So while we're talking, we talk about religion, we talk about racism in America, we talk about secret societies, because that was really my peak of interest. So we first started off by talking about why he was in Wilmington again. He's always going to his school in Wilmington, Delaware, because number one, he's being audited by the IRS a lot. When I first met him in 2022, he literally told me he was there because his accountant was caught stealing funds from the school. They were receiving donations for the school, and he was saying that his accountant was stealing money. So he had to fire that accountant, and the IRS was asking for proof, like where the money went. So he started commuting from Philadelphia to Wilmington, Delaware frequently, just so he could be at the school in case anybody shows up and asks why the school's not done, or where the kids are at, or what's going on. So when I met up with him last year, he was just coming back from the school when we had lunch. I guess the IRS is still asking him about the school because it's not done. Like, he's receiving money donations, but there's no progress with the school. If you were to go up right now to the school, like, there's wooded boards on the doors, on the windows, there's weeds, graffiti on some of the buildings. Like, it's not in proper condition. There's no AC, there's no heating, there's nothing. Like, it's not, the school's not ready. When we were talking at the table, I started asking him a lot of private questions, like, were you married? Do you have any kids? He was telling me, yes, I have 2 daughters. One of them is a teenager, and the other one is maybe 7 years old at the time. So the child is probably 9 years old. So he was saying to me that the mother of those girls, or the mother of, I don't know if it's 2 separate women or just one woman, the woman or the women are taking him to court for child support because he's not an active dad. He's not in their life, and he told me that as well. He doesn't visit them as much as he should. However, he visits his mom a lot, and she's in Philly. So I just was confused. I was like, how are you talking about being a pillar and how black men are so needed in families today, but you're not even an active dad? He was not an active father. He said it. He confirmed it. I can back this young lady up. He did say that. He was not going to be there. And on top of that, he was saying that he would like to, in the future, every 2 weeks out of the month, go to Ghana. He practices Ifa, which is African spirituality. And we were talking about that for a while because I'm kind of versed in it as well. And so when we were talking, I was asking him, I was like, so you never got married? He said, oh, no, I never got married to any of those women. But he...
This is another testament, too. I'm going to play the rest of this, but it's very important. First and foremost, hit the like. Shout out to you for the 5 in the super chat. I appreciate you for supporting the GMS show in a big way. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is important because it's an important message on watching who you have around you, or watching who you tell things to, or watch who you get close with. Because people can use things against you at the end of the day when they don't fuck with you no more. You know, I tend to watch what I say around people, no matter who you are. Like, I don't tend to really talk a lot or spread a lot of my business because, and it really don't matter who you are. It's just because I know that people are capable of doing these type of things, you know. And who are we to think that this person is lying? You know, she could very well be somebody that was around Dr. Umar around this time and seen how he moved, and she may not have said nothing at the time. But seeing this young lady come on the internet and talk about him being a deadbeat father, she is somebody who could corroborate the story and use it against him, because her and Dr. Umar clearly don't mess with each other no more. But it also burns the question in my mind, if her and Dr. Umar were still actively on good terms, or if they were still involved with each other, would she be speaking out about this? How much would she really care about him being a deadbeat dad if her and Dr. Umar were still involved with each other? What y'all thinking in the comment section?
Dated a lot, and I could tell that he was a playboy because he was very, very flirtatious, very. And also, I noticed too, his personality is much different in person than it is online. I'm not sure if it's because I'm a woman or something like that, but he's not as animated. He seems more hyped up when he's like on a podcast or online, really engaging. He was not as engaging in person, and I felt like that was interesting. I was having to ask him questions. He didn't really ask me questions. It was almost like we had lunch just for me to ask him questions, and I didn't really like that because it was supposed to be a back and forth discussion. And so we were talking about a variety of topics. He is extremely flirtatious, and that was the last time I met up with him, and probably the last time, because it was very aggressive, because I'm in a relationship, and when I had met up with him last year, I told my partner, like, I'm going to go have lunch with Dr. Umar. He was like, what the fuck? So he was like, yeah, go have lunch and come back and let me know how it goes. But y'all, before I go back to seeing my boyfriend, on my life, when we left, I gave him a hug. He was like, He said, the women got to have booty. And I was like, what? He said, you got to have booty. If I'm talking to you, you got to have booty. Can you cook? I was like, yeah, I can cook. He was like, good. Good. So you can cook and you got booty. And he was backing up from me. He said, He said, business before back shots. Business before back shots. I wish I was kidding.
Cap. I don't believe it because you didn't say it 3 times. I refuse to believe that he didn't say that phrase 3 times. It's been twice already where you've quoted him saying something, but you've only said it twice. You didn't say it 3 times. We all know that Dr. Umar says everything in 3s, okay? That's the first rule.
I wish I was kidding. And mind you, I'm in a fucking relationship. So I was like, what do you mean business before back shots, nigga? Like, what? So he's laughing to himself and he goes back to his car because he was going to go back to Philly to go take care of his mom. And I was like, I can't see this fool again. Because what do you mean business before back shots? No back shots are being given.
Sister, my sister, business before back shots. We need to take care of business before I give you the business. You see, because the things we need to accomplish, I need to make sure that the school has sliding glass windows. I need to make sure that the doors are latched to the hinges. I need to make sure that everybody around is taken care of who is helping us with the school, including you. But after we get done with that, see, that's when we go back to my place, right? And with all that booty that you possess on the back end of yourself, it must be pleasured after a long day of work. So that's what I mean, sister, by business before back shots. Because one thing that Dr. Umar enjoys after a long day of pretending to build a school is giving a good queen something to remember from the Pan-African Pounder. The Pan-African Pounder. That's his porn name. The Pan-African Pounder. Because it must hit right. I said it must hit right. I said it must hit right.
And what? Because business before back shots, whose back are you shooting? Because it's not mine. The fuck? So, extremely flirtatious. Very much so. I remember asking him too, like, are you and Suki Hana like a thing? Because I know she's from Delaware too. I was like, do y'all?
If he wasn't about to get none of them back shots, why you care about his relationship with Suki? Why you worried about another queen that he involved with if you ain't even in the realm of thinking about the fact that he needs to give you some back shots? See, that's how you know. See, you done told on yourself within 5 seconds of each other. You sit up there acting like you don't want Dr. Umar to hit. You know damn well you'll let Dr. Umar hit. As a matter of fact, you would have let Dr. Umar homie hit just so you could get to Dr. Umar if you don't stop playing with motherfuckers around here. Now, you sit up here talking about trying to act like you and want Dr. Umar to give you them Pan-African poundings, but now you talking about some, oh, what's up with you and Suki? Man, stop it.
You know, are y'all fucking? I was asking him too. I was like, are you and Suki like a thing? Like you? Because I know she from Delaware
Stop
too.
it.
I'm like, are y'all
Stop it.
fucking? Like, and he was like, no, we're friends. That's my girl. You know, she got her own restaurant in downtown Wilmington somewhere.
You said she in a relationship herself. Why does she care? Hey, man, look, that's another thing. Y'all got to watch for that shit. One thing that's important to remember, man, I failed at this. I failed at this once upon a time. Watch how your girl talks about another man. Pay attention to that. Especially if they try to mask it behind them just being, it's just innocent, it's just whatever. None of these things should be on your mind at the time or even be wanting to share to your partner or about anything on the internet in that way. Why are you concerned about that? If I'm her man, why are you concerned about who Dr. Umar is fucking? Why does that even matter to you? I thought y'all just had business together. Now you worrying about who this nigga fucking? Like, what? That's not business. It seemed like you trying to find out so that you can make sure you not messing with a man that's in a relationship or messing with somebody who you probably look down upon. Watch how somebody has somebody on their mind a lot. That's another thing. When somebody, if you in a relationship and whether your girlfriend or whether your boyfriend is constantly talking about somebody or even constantly talking about their ex, bringing them up in any moment, any capacity, just know that that person is not over that motherfucker. And sooner or later, they gonna show you that at some point. Ain't no way you in a relationship worried about who Dr. Umar smashing. That shouldn't matter to you at all.
Sure. When you say to me, business before back shots, and you and Suki are just friends, highly doubt it, because you got a big booty too. Anyway, I say all this to say, this young lady is telling the truth. He is a deadbeat father, extreme hypocrite, and huge flirt. This is not the black man you think he is. He's loyal. He got a wife at home. He take care of his kids. He's not that type of black man. He is, he spreads his seed. He told me he only got 2 kids. I feel like it's more. He's not visiting his children. He's not paying child support. And these things came out of his own fucking mouth. Okay? So.
Well, that's interesting. I guess we can see if we can use that against Dr. Umar. I don't know. To tell you the truth, like I said in the beginning, I don't take Dr. Umar as somebody who's serious. I don't at all. I'm sorry. I just don't take him serious. He's not somebody I look at and be like, oh man, I should take his word for things, or I should follow his lead because he's somebody who cares about the black community. Stop it. Stop it. This man is out here busting nuts and giving Pan-African pounds all around different cities and shit. I can't take nobody seriously like that. Especially when you have opinions on fatherhood and you out here doing degenerate shit. I don't care to do anything but watch you as entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the biggest giveaway right now is him doing Druski's show. Like, Druski's show is a clear parody of a dating show. You know what I'm saying? Which is funny to me because the girls, like some of the girls on there, you would think that they really thought that this was like a real show. Like, if you follow Druski, you know that a lot of shit he does is parody. You know he's not serious about it. But some of them girls on that show was on there crying and really on there trying to act like they trying to fight for love. It's like, do y'all see who's standing around y'all? This nigga in there trying to give life advice to motherfuckers who can care less about being there in the first place. They all want clout. But Dr. Umar wanted that check. He needed a check. And now you're going to start seeing him do things like this because, like I told you earlier, the character of it all is bigger than the actual message he's trying to convey or the type of things he's trying to accomplish in the black community. The entertainment factor of it all is way bigger than his agenda or his apparent agenda. So stop looking at Dr. Umar like he's supposed to be this big, profound black leader in the community. He's not. He's an entertainer. And you should just laugh at the shit that be going on. So even for the person earlier talking about laughing at whatever the situation, something serious, man, stop it. It's been decades and decades of niggas not taking care of their fucking kids, man. This shit is not new. Stop with that shit. At this point, understand that this shit gonna happen to a lot of people in America. Go and find an outlet to try to get over your bullshit. And stop dragging people into your traumas and expecting them to be cool with it, while on the other end, you not considering the shit that they done been through. Because a lot of people will never look at your situation as more detrimental or more important than their own. They will minimize your trauma or minimize the things that you've been through and expect you to be okay or expect you to get through whatever the situation is or to even be healed in certain aspects or be doing certain things differently or forgetting about the things that trigger you just for their own benefit while they sit back and let themselves get drowned into the bullshit. Protect your energy, brother. Speaking of protecting your energy, LeBron is out here protecting his seed. Bronny has been the subject of conversation ever since he decided to become a pro and is playing in the NBA with his father, Lebron James. He has been teetering and tottering from the D League to back to the pros. He's played quite a few games, and people are giving their opinions on how this little man has been giving his impact in the league. One of those people that has given their opinion on Bronny is none other than Stephen A. Smith. Now, I wanted to bring this up for the factor that, you know, it is possible for these guys to come face to face, pause with the people that talk about them, which happens a lot. But I'm also doing this because I'm going to show you guys the proper way to deal with somebody when it's on site, when you don't like them, when you know that this person is somebody who you really don't mess with. Because there was another individual who speaks very negatively of Stephen A. Smith. You guys might know who he is. He does a podcast every Tuesday night. He was seen at one point in time holding up a chicken breast, a freshly fried piece of chicken breast, golden brown, while taking a picture with Stephen A. Smith, smiling ear to ear like he was the happiest man alive, and then proceeded to continue after that moment talk very low and negative and discouragingly of Stephen A. Smith when he had a chance to do it right there in his face. This is a perfect example of what you could do. See, a lot of excuses came out of that guy. Oh, we in a restaurant. Oh, he had security. I had security. Oh, we was around a bunch of different people. Oh, I'm not supposed to set it off in this type of setting. Y'all try to make me do this, try to make me do that. Y'all think I'm supposed... No, the very least you could have done in that moment was say, get away from me. I don't fuck with you. That could have been what you could have done. If you have a strong dislike for this man and he approached you, what's going on, Corey? Then Corey said, chicken. You like some chicken? Oh, you know what it is, brother. You know, I just be doing a podcast, man. You know, it's entertainment. It's entertainment. Oh, it better be, Corey, because I was about to come over here and let you know. You know, the stuff you be saying about me. Oh, I can say a lot about you, Corey. You don't want this smoke. Do you see my forehead? I will headbutt the shit out of you, Corey. I'll put you in a coma for 7 months. He looked like he got the type of diabolical forehead that'll fuck somebody up vigorously. I'm talking about he'll put a gash in your shit. I promise you that, especially if he keep it shined. He usually keeps it shined. When you keep it shined, that's like a layer of protection. When niggas throw punches at him, he just put his head down and they shit just be slipping off his forehead. Oh shit, oh. Nigga use it as a shield. You could probably shoot at Stephen A. Smith. He just got to put his head down. Them shits would ricochet right off that shit. Nonetheless, him and Bron had a face off at the Lakers game, and this is how it went. Now, this was very interesting because LeBron, before this happened, there was a face of the league conversation that stemmed from Stephen A. Smith and LeBron James. Stephen A. decided to pop up at the Lakers game. He most definitely did not expect LeBron to come up to him like that. You could tell in his body language, he was a little bit taken back. If you want to see, look how he's shaking his phone. You know, he's kind of nervous. He's a little nervous. Look at the size difference though, man. Pause. Like LeBron is a big nigga, bro. LeBron is it's totally different. See, that's the funny part about it. Internet versus real life. It's very comfortable to sit behind a camera and say what you can do or what you will do to somebody, and once you are face to face with somebody, it's a different story. That's another reason why it was so funny to me when certain people were talking about running fades. It was like, it's not gonna be easy for you to run a fade with me. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm a run a fade," or "I'm gonna beat your ass." You can't just easily say that about somebody who is over 6'5" and over 260 pounds. You cannot say, it's just not gonna happen like that. It's not an easy feat. Now, Stephen A, of course, responded to this on his show. But here's a different angle of what happened. He saw Stephen A sitting next to the bench. He said, "Oh, look, look, hey, LeBron ain't slick. Look at LeBron tell his teammates. Look at LeBron tell his teammates what he was about to do. He ain't slick. Look." He said, "Look, Stephen A sitting right over there. Look, watch this. Watch what I'm about to do." He tapped Luka. He said, "Hey, watch this shit. Hey, bitch."
I am pleading with LeBron James as a father. Stop this. You're exposing your son like this?
Yeah. Now. Hey, Stephen A. Look, Stephen A. was mad as hell. He was mad as hell. Look at his face. He said, you fucking, you asshole. LeBron, you dickhead. He was mad as hell telling him shit. He was telling himself that shit in his head. Hey, I will say this. Some people, when they talked about this situation, was like, man, Bronny he's professional now. He's in the league. He's not somebody who's not subject to criticism now that he's in the league just because he's your son. But there's certain ways you can approach criticism on Bronny without trying to include LeBron James. If you want to just criticize Bronny, but as you can see in that clip that I just played, this man is sitting there pleading to Bron as a father to stop subjecting his son to success. What are you talking about? This man put Bronny to work and got him into the league, into the NBA, regardless if you think he's good or not. I'm pretty sure LeBron was doing his job as a father. It doesn't matter what he said about, oh, Bronny's better than half the people in the league before he even got drafted. It doesn't matter if Bron is doing what he can to get Bronny on his team so he can play. Regardless if he sucks for the rest of his career, you cannot talk about nobody else in their fatherhood like you can talk about somebody like LeBron, what he does for his sons, and LeVar Ball and what he does for his sons. There's no, to me, you look like a hater. To me, you look like a hater. Because it doesn't matter whether Bronny's good or not. He's in the league now. You know how many niggas is trash on the league? You know how many niggas that stay suited up in they warm-ups on the bench and never see any type of playing time that are in the NBA? You know why they don't get talked about? Because nobody gives a damn. But because it's LeBron's son, and this is the type of stuff that goes back to bite people in the ass, because all Bronny has is time to develop and get better and grow. He's a young kid. He's a young guy. He still has time to develop his game. He doesn't necessarily even have to be in the NBA. He could be in the D League and develop his game. That's another thing. A lot of people weren't talking about how well he was doing while playing in the G League. While he's playing in the G League or the D League or whatever the case it is, he's showing and proving that he can develop his game. He doesn't have to be his father. He doesn't have to be the greatest to ever do it because his father is one of the greats. He just has to be good enough to sustain a career in the NBA. And if he does that, then all the shit that you were talking about him and pleading to LeBron why he would subject his son to that, that's the reason why LeBron had to come to your ass and say, hey, man, keep my son out this shit. Because you making this shit personal. Now it's like you attacking my fatherhood. You're attacking. It seems like you making it out to me to be that I'm some type of shitty father because I put my son in a position to succeed. That's why Stephen A got approached. Now, I also will commend Stephen A for not taking the disrespectful approach by coming on his platform and trying to talk crazy or try to downplay the situation or try to throw some shots at LeBron because he felt like he got hoed. No, you had a choice to say what you wanted to say in a moment where y'all were face to face and you didn't. So anything that you say after that that may seem like you trying to attack him or like you trying to come at him or that you trying to throw some shots, it's going to make you look like a bitch. The only thing that you can do in this situation is tell it like it is, be cool about it, and move forward. That's it. Now, there is some other videos coming up about this situation. Now, there is one where LeBron is seen having a moment with oh, I'm not gonna play this. This was Stephen A's response. We're not gonna play that. But this moment right here. This was after the Stephen A and LeBron run-in on the court. So LeBron and Richard Jefferson are standing here before a Celtics game, and they're talking about what happened. They're trying to mask their faces a little bit to try to make it, so people won't read their lips. But he's very obviously talking about Stephen A. Now, let's read this. LeBron says, I know. Richard Jefferson says something about Stephen A. He says, right. And he said, that's the only thing. And LeBron says, that's the only thing I'm tripping. I don't give a F about anything else. Once he talks about my son, I'm pleading to you as a father. I can't. Like I told you, like I just got done telling y'all, that video of him talking about he's pleading to Brian as a father to stop subjecting his son to some shit like this, that's when he took it personal. Don't start talking about me as a father when you clearly see me being one of the greatest fathers that I can be. Why are you talking about me as a father when I put my son in the league? Because y'all don't see that because y'all don't think he's good? Because y'all don't believe in him? That's why you saying that I'm somehow putting my son in harm's way? I'm not making y'all talk about him. Y'all deciding to go out of y'all way to say disparaging things about my son, and then try to sit up there and say that I'm putting him in a fucked up position. Y'all spreading these narratives. Y'all the ones that's creating the commentary, and then you want to turn around and try to spread more narratives like I'm doing something bad. Now I'm taking that personally. Stephen A saw this, and he responded to it. This is what Stephen A had to say in response to that.
He approached me during the game, and he said, stop effing with my son. That's my effing son. Stop effing.
This is what Bron said to him.
Effing with my son. I said, what? Nah, man, straight up, man to man. Real talk. Stop effing with my son. And I saw how furious he was. And I said, we can talk about it later. Nah, F that. Stop effing with my son. That's my son. I said, all right, dog. Fine. And he walked away.
Now, he also responded to the moment that Richard Jefferson and LeBron got together and made comments about what happened. This is part of what he had to say.
Jefferson, you saw the video. So when he sat up there and said, when I'm talking as a dad, right? That's the only thing. That's the only thing I'm tripping. I don't give a F. Once he talks about you I plead as a father, I can't. So it wasn't about Bronny. It was about him. Those are his words. Once he said, as a father, that was about him. Which was my point January 29th. It's been about you. I don't want to have a critical word about Bronny James at this stage of his career. And I completely agree with LeBron's agent and the head of Clutch Sports, Rich Paul, We don't always agree. As a matter of fact, most of the time we don't agree at all, but we talk, and I respect the hell out of him. And he made very valid points, and I want to emphasize, Rich is just class. And I got a lot of love for Rich because he's decent at his core, and he's going to call you and talk to you man to man. He would have never did what LeBron James did Thursday night. He never would have done that. But that's neither here nor there. But Rich Paul made a point that Bronny should be contextualized and presented better. I agree with him on that. There's plenty of dudes in the NBA and who have been in the NBA over the years that have been drafted in the second round who struggle initially before getting their bearings under them and ultimately elevating their level of play. He is absolutely right. The reason why it's different for Bronny as opposed to others is because he's LeBron James' son. The NIL deals, the 4-year, $8 million contract, all of these other things that come with it that doesn't happen for the average 55th pick overall in the second round of an NBA draft. The fact of the matter is that there's plenty of dudes that have come in the second round, and it takes them a couple of years, in some cases longer.
You asked if Stephen A.
to get their bearings
was an athlete, an ex-athlete. Well, here's your answer. Yes, he was. In the season of 1990-1991, which was the year that I was born, he averaged a whopping 1.5 points per game and 1 assist while sitting over there looking like NL Lead Chopper. This nigga look like, who the fuck he look like in this picture, man? He look like somebody I know, personally. I can't even say his name because he look just like him. He look like this nigga I know named Dondre. I went to high school with a nigga that looked just like Stephen A. A young Stephen A. Same potato face ass nigga. Nigga lazy face ass nigga. Look like he always saying I'm tired every 30 minutes ass nigga. Look like he eat nothing but mashed potatoes and gravy looking ass. These are his career stats, by the way. Just wanted to put those out there. I just wanted to show you that. But this is what else he had to say.
It's under them. He is absolutely right. But having said all of that, that again buffers my point. It was never about.
He was like a nigga that be trying to overly convince people to eat crawfish.
Bronny. I wouldn't do that to a kid.
It's good, I'm telling you.
It was about his dad. And it wasn't about his dad even wanting him in the NBA. It's the things he said. And the things he maneuvered and manipulated in order to get his son to wear the same uniform as him.
Hey, 1.5 points per game and 1 assist looks to me like an all-around player, man. All around.
Which brought that attention. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because I want to get into a conversation about me because of how some folks have been attacking me.
Nah, I don't care, Stephen A. I don't really care. I really don't. But that's the situation between Bron and their little public spat, if you will. Now, there's something more important I want to talk about because I want to get to that before I get out of here. I have some things I need to do. Before I get out of here, I wanted to talk to you guys about these two, DDG and Halle Bailey. Some of y'all may not know who these people are, which is okay. One thing that I will say is that these two individuals are very successful in their own fields. Halle is a singer and an actress who was discovered with her sister Chloe Bailey, who is thick as grits. And they were discovered by Beyonce. They were very successful as a group together, and then they ventured off to do some solo ventures, and they've been successful in their solo careers. And she's been very successful in her acting career. DDG is a known streaming pioneer. He is somebody who is one of the first guys to be out here doing IRL streams, which is like the type of like streams that you see people like Kai Cenat, I Show Speed, people like Academics. Like he pioneered a lot of those things and made it possible for these guys to become successful in the same field. He's still successful in that way. He's also a rapper, and that's just what it was. So now, these two individuals got together. They ended up having a baby. That is their son, Halo. They have been publicly going through it when it comes to Halo. First things that really happened in the public eye when it comes to their son is DDG, which is this guy's name. He brought his son on a stream with Kai Cenat. When he did, there was a post that went up on Twitter by the mom, Halle Bailey, saying that she did not give her consent or she did not give her permission for her son to be on stream that night. Now, granted, a lot of people that did see that happen, there were some people that were like, oh yeah, you tell him. But for the majority, it was people like, permission? That's his son too. Why would your son's father need permission from the mother to put him on stream? That seems like a decision that his father could make on his own. He wasn't putting his son in harm's way. He wasn't doing anything bad or illegal. He just brought him on stream. And the biggest reason why he did was because Kai decided that he wanted to buy a bunch of presents for the little nigga. So he did that. And he made a thing about it. And it was it just kind of showed part of the toxicity, because you brought it to the internet and you wanted to basically galvanize your fan base to come up and try to attack somebody for just having their son with them on stream. Like, it's one thing. It's funny how niggas get attacked for not being in their child's life, like we just talked about with Dr. Umar, and then niggas that are in their child's life get attacked for it because they're not doing what the mom wants them to do, or you're not asking them for permission. You need her say so to do certain things with a child that y'all both bared or that y'all both had together. I don't know where this idea comes from when an active father needs to do what the mom is telling him to do. I don't know where that comes from. I don't know why people think that that's like a thing. Like, if you're a good father and you take care of your son or your daughter and you protect them, there should be no question in what the parent is doing or what they decide to do with their child in certain instances. If I want to take my child to go to the amusement park, I should be able to be like, hey, I'm taking so-and-so to the amusement park today. We'll be back around so-and-so. The mom shouldn't be like, no, I don't like it. She can have an opinion about it. I don't want to get that confused. You can always have an opinion about it. But as far as like being the one that is the deciding factor, especially when there's things that's happening where the child isn't in harm's way or there's nothing bad happening, it's just, oh, we're going to the music park, it should be okay, that's cool. So in his instance, you got with somebody who was already a streamer, who was already very successful as a streamer and a rapper. He's on camera a lot. So having a child with somebody who's always on camera, you telling them that they can't put their son on camera, you know that how that's going to affect them because of what they do. And just because, and then on top of that, it's way more not your decision at this time anyway if y'all not together, and while knowing what he does for a living. As long as he's not putting your son in harm's way, there should be no issue. But it's from a lot of the times, because they're not together, the woman in that situation who still might have some type of feeling there because that's the father of her child, still wants to feel like they have some type of control over what they do. It's not even about the child at that point. It's about whether or not you can steer somebody in the direction you want them to be in, or to make them do what you want them to do. So recently, DDG revealed that he hasn't been able to see his son. and says that his son has been sick and he's been trying to be over there to get to him and try to take care of him, but he has been kicked out of the house trying to go over there. He's been rejected at some point. Listen to some of the things he's had to say.
Every single day or every other day, I'm trying to see him. I'm trying to get him to come over or whatever. I never get him dropped off. I always go pick him up. I live far as shit. So I'm driving hours to go get him, and then I get there and I can't get him. Or I can't see him. My son is sick right now. I want to see my son. I want to hold my son. I want to, you know what I'm saying? I just want to comfort him. I want to put him in the shower, get some steam in his nose so he can feel better. I don't get the chance to do that. I get pinned against the wall, and then everything else is variables on why I can't see my son. You feel me? Like it don't have nothing to do with me working, by the way. I'm not gonna air out her business, but me and her has not been together for a long time. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's been going on for a minute where I just never got on the internet and said nothing. I mean, I might like throw like little subliminals or some shit like that, but it's like, bro, like, I don't want to get on the internet, because at the end of the day, you know, this is something that can really like fuck with him. But I'm really just coming on this motherfucker as just a dad that really don't know what to do at this point. I've been dealing with this shit since he's been born, damn near. It's like I really feel like I'm a fucking nanny at this point. The nanny has been able to have my son more than me. Who her nigga is, who she fucking filming movies with, I don't give a fuck. I care about my son. That's all I care about. Literally, that's all I care about. And when that's taken from me, she know that's the only way I get frustrated. That's the only way she can get under my skin, because I don't care what she does. We haven't been together. This might be a curveball to a lot of people, but me and her has not been together for a long time. A long time. Before that post, we've been not really together. We probably was on and off for a little bit. That's it. But further than that, we has not been together. This is the only thing that can bother me is with my son. Yeah, no, I don't even bring her name up when I get on live. I get on live, I call her the mother of my child. I call her this and that, nothing but be respectful. I'm not doing that no more. I'm not finna sit here and get bullied behind closed doors over my son, and I can't see him.
Now, somebody brought up a video, an old video of Halle talking. And one of the things that she said in that video clip while she was with her sister was that, oh yeah, you know, everybody thinks I'm like sweet or something, this and that, but y'all don't really know me. Y'all don't really know the other side, or something like that. It's something of the sorts, which basically made her sound like she was exactly what he was saying as far as like, you know, behind the scenes goes. And it's always the sweet ones, the ones that's very sweet presenting, or the people that present themselves a certain way on the internet. Usually be the ones that's not too up together up top and got a lot of fucking issues behind closed doors. And then when certain things pop off, they try to, you know, make it seem like they are doing things the right way, or that they are, you know, innocent in certain things or certain situations, especially when they try to tell other people things about their situations or relationships. Watch out for people that love to only talk about something that the one person is doing, but never talk about what they do. Because in that situation, I don't think a lot of people even understand, when you're the type of person that doesn't take accountability or leaves out the things that you may have done to cause certain situations to go bad, you start to actively believe that you are somebody that does nothing wrong. If you're the type of person where you get into it with somebody and you know that you play fault in these instances, but you don't talk about the faults that you played in, you only talked about what that person did, you're somebody who is going to fall in the line of, oh man, I'm always doing things right, or I'm always, you know what I'm saying? You paint yourself as a saint, so to speak. You paint yourself as a victim, somebody who is just getting done wrong, or somebody who just doesn't understand why somebody is acting this way towards you, or why this person said this to you, or why they don't want to fuck with you. You put yourself in a position to make yourself feel like you are never at fault, to the point where you actually believe it. And that spills into the next relationship you might have. When you think that there's a better option over here, you think that this person is going to be different than the last person. They very well could be. But see, the problem is that person has to deal with you and the issues you have. And that's the part that needs to be worked on. That's the part that needs to be fixed. Or else that person is going to fall in the same line as the other niggas. Then you going to think that this person was the same as these motherfuckers. Because now he's treating you the same as the other guys did when they found out you was fucked up. That's the part I don't think a lot of people realize when it comes to these situations. Like, it'd be a lot of women talking about, oh, men ain't shit or these niggas ain't shit. They never say what their issues are or where they fail at or where they are fucked up at or what problems they may have caused to put them in positions where things changed. It's always that person's fault and everybody else is the same. Well, sometimes if you continue to breed the same results out of people, you might be the issue. You might be the problem. Not them, not the motherfuckers that's trying to get away from you, but you. Now, he also talked about the day that he brought his son on stream and what happened that day. This is another thing I want to talk about too, is because the one thing that a nice size amount of women love is to ruin their man's good time or their ex's good time. Because you can't have a good time if I'm not involved. You can't have fun if we're not having fun. You can't be happy if I'm not happy. And then what makes it even worse is that when you have a child together with somebody who tries to control everything that the child does, even when they're with their father, now you have even more of an excuse to try to use or to weaponize your child to try to make the person you had the child with have a shitty time in life. Now check this out. Listen to what he said about this instance right here.
That's one situation where it's like that's one situation where you can kind of compare it to what's going on. You feel me? Like, why do I need permission to go on a live stream and this nigga Kai and probably spent a couple bands on gifts for him? Why? I was going through it during that live stream. Like, my phone was getting blown. You would have thought I was bringing him to Afghanistan or something to fight in the war. Like, my phone was getting blown from 20 different people. I'm like, bro, I ain't even doing nothing. But he be on set, all types of shit. He be on set with her, all types of stuff.
That's another thing that people brought up, was because she's talking about permission for her child to be on camera, but she constantly posts their child on her social media platforms. Mainly, a lot of people brought up Snapchat. And I had to go see for myself one day. I said, damn, she does. Like, that's all she does is post her son on her Snapchat. Like, he's in damn near every single video, every single pic, like everything. So why is it okay for you to do it? Because you feel like you're the more respectful or more responsible parent or the more lovable parent? I don't know what it is that they try to use as a factor as to why they can do things that the other parent can't do. But to try to control that when you definitely post that young man on your story or on your social media way more than his father does is insane to me. And just like he just said, the child is on set with her. She'll take the child to go to her music video sets and go to her photo shoots, bringing them to go to the studio with her. All types of places that she be bringing her son to, in all her right to do so. I'm not saying this as like, oh, she doing. I'm not the weirdos on social media trying to police what two parents of a child can do with their fucking child. What I'm saying is there's hypocrisy in that. There's clear hypocrisy in that. And it's unfair. It really is. Especially when niggas want to be in the child's life. Like, that's the shit that I don't understand. Niggas want to be active. When niggas is active, or when niggas not in a child life, they get scrutiny. When he is in a child's life or want to be in a child's life, he faces scrutiny. You got people on the internet talking about, oh, if he really wanted to be in his child's life, he'd go to the courts. But he's on the internet. Then as soon as a nigga talk about why he don't want to take his baby mom to court because it'll be too messy, now they saying, oh, he don't want to go to court because he knows that she'll be able to make sure he doesn't post his child on his streams, and that's his bread and butter. That's how he makes his money. Why in the fuck would, like, they didn't even see the problem within that statement. Why would she want to stop him from making any money? That's y'all child. Y'all take care of y'all. Why would you want to stop a stream of revenue for your child's father that could help your child because you bitter and because you mad and because you want to control some shit? See, a lot of people are illogical, irrational, and delusional. And they carry those traits because of the emotional factor of not being with their child's father. Then they drag people along with the fucking bullshit that they deal with on that end. Anybody else that comes in got to deal with that too. I guarantee the next dude that ends up with Halle gonna hear a lot about DDG because she not over DDG. But try to mask it as, oh, well, he ain't shit, he ain't that, I don't really care, I don't really fuck with him, but hey, I gotta bring him up every other time we together because he stay on my mind, and the things that he be doing stay on my mind, even though I act like I don't give a fuck. You gotta watch for shit like that. Niggas will drag you through some shit thinking that they trying to be with you, but really they trying to mold you into the previous shit that they liked. Or they baby dad who they still got feelings for and want to make you into a better version of that nigga. I'm not saying that's what Halle on, but it's like it's a trend of things that I be seeing a lot from these situations too, like these celebrity relationships too, like not just celebrities but just all around. You know what I'm saying? Just because you're a celebrity don't mean that you don't hold those traits as well. But nonetheless, you know, I don't wish, you know, these guys go through turmoil in the courts. I don't, you know, a lot of this shit has to play out healthy for the child. Like at the end of the day, the main focus should be their son and being able to take care of him and make sure that he don't grow up seeing mommy and daddy fighting and bickering on the internet because they can't come to terms or come to an agreement or understanding when it comes to you. And a lot of the times the child ends up feeling like it's their fault why mommy and daddy are fighting because they're fighting about you. When in reality, there's only selfish reasons behind that. It's really because of them two not fucking with each other. It has nothing to do with you. A lot of people lose sight on that. So I'm just, you know, I'm hoping that they figure it out. I hope they figure it out and become a healthy unit for their child. And just keep it cordial, man. You know what I'm saying? And if you really doing it for your child, do it for the child. Put your biases aside, put your emotions aside, and do what you got to do for the child. Point blank, period. Now, GMS fam, the Green Room, it's been a real show, man, today. I appreciate every single one of you for pulling up. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out. Follow me on my socials. I follow everybody back. Hit that like button, man. Hit the share. Go into that comment section when the live is over, man. I want everybody that was here in this live chat to go right over to the comment section and leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about today's show. Shout out your city, where you tuning in from. Shout out to everybody that sent the super chat. Shout out to the people that sent the Cash App. You can donate to the Cash App with the link below in the description, or you can find it in the description below. Shout out to y'all. we moving forward in this bitch, man. Y'all gonna see a lot more of me in a lot of different ways. Not just talking on this platform, but a lot of different things, man, coming y'all way. I'm gonna have a lot more time and a lot more energy and a lot more focus to do the things that I need to do. No more distractions. No more willingness to allow negativity. We not doing it. We pushing forward. Y'all gonna hear a lot more about GMS this year, I promise you. I promise you. GMS fam, the green room. We out.